you have a workflow. I mean, you're in the workflow as a person, as an individual contributor, and you're looking at the workflow. You're like, this could be done in a better way. We could use AI to change this part of the workflow. Let's
Right.
let's let's try and see if that works. And it may or may not work, but you give it a try and see if it works. And then, oh, okay, that worked, or it didn't work. I'll try something else next time. That kind of learning is incredibly valuable to an organization. It's not like you're going to redesign everything in the back end for the entire company. You're just taking your workflow of, for example, processing one type of claim in the company. But if every single employee does that, revolution happens. So this is what speed looks like. It's when you can enable somebody at the front lines that they have the confidence to be able to make these changes, know that they have the permission to do that, know how they can do it safely, and know that they can improve this to be better, faster, cheaper, again, safer. Those are the things that are really important. It requires that we trust our people to do these things, but also that we put the guardrails to make sure they know what the boundaries are. Innovation takes a lot of work. It isn't like just go out there and innovate. It takes a lot of work to structure things. And so I do believe in having what we call Goldilocks governance. Not too much, not too little, just right to keep everyone safe, but also to keep everyone moving fast.
Right. Freedom to be innovative, but also controls and checks and balances. They work within a safety net, right? So if every organization has their own different personalized approaches, right? And probably maybe this is not a good analogy, but something similar happens on the social networks, right? The algorithms show us what each of us wants to see, which kind of reinforces, and then we have completely different experiences, right? So I'm wondering what would happen in the future if instead of shared experiences where most of organizations have the similar workflows or similar ways of doing things with their own flavors, then now going from one organization to another would be a completely different way of working, right? That would provide their own challenges and also their own benefits, right? What are your thoughts about how would that develop?
First of all, you will be very unlikely to be able to take your agent from one workplace to another workplace. And this is an interesting situation where you might have a different set of golden handcuffs in the future, being that you're used to doing work in a certain way with all these agents, and knowing that you have to leave them all behind and start over from scratch again, you're like, do I really want to do that? Because I just invested so much time and energy into these agents that are just fine-tuned to the way I work, and I'm going to have to leave them all behind and start over again. So serious barrier to exit. Similarly, if you're coming in, how do I enable a new employee to get up to speed and to create those agents as fast as possible so that they can be up to speed and doing things? So it's an interesting conundrum, but I think your question of differentiation, I think it's a big danger when everyone has the same technology, everyone has using the same underlying algorithms.